discussing the possibility of repurposing some of the rabbits toward residents' life operations. English Angora rabbits are well known for their thick, soft, silky wool, so the college's student housing office feels this presents an opportunity to make new blankets and rugs and hats and blindfolds for students, as well as winter cloaks for the coyote-faced advisors that lurk about the student programs office. Representatives have attempted to contact Mrs. Wickersham to discuss the possible redistribution of her generous gifts, but without success. More curiously, when attempting to visit Mrs. Wickersham's home, committee members were informed by her neighbors that they have never actually seen Mrs. Wickersham, but they often have dreams of her. I mean, she never looks like herself, each of the neighbors stated. Generally, she appears as a hovering green box that pulses with light, and her voice sounds like an oboe playing a whole note, but like in this dream kind of way where I totally know it's her, they concluded.
You did it! All three have been
Some committee members raised questions about how an incorporeal dream being could donate wild animals, and also if maybe she could stop doing that. Those members were quietly removed from the room by other committee members. In any case, Night Vale, let us hold Mrs. Wickersham in our thoughts and, of course, dreams, and hope for her safe return, or possibly for an end to her rabbit donations. Both would be nice, but let's not be greedy, Night Vale. We all take what we can get in this life, you know? We take what we can get. Bad news from the Night Vale Community College, listeners. A donation of 5,000 English Angora rabbits in the name of Mrs. Sylvia Wickersham have just arrived at the college's fundraising headquarters. It's uncertain how they found their way there, as said headquarters had already been relocated to the underground emergency fundraising-related disaster bunker constructed in the 1970s by Dr. Erlis Badermeyer, the community college's all-time second least popular president. As of last report, the rabbits have invaded and taken over control of fundraising headquarters, using dedicated telephone lines to make personal calls, uttering insensitive remarks about the body types of students and staff, and tilting the vending machines in clear violation of safety labeling. Simone Rigaudot, the transient who lives in the Earth Sciences building, says these are typical behaviors for this breed of rabbit and that she is not surprised. She also repeated her claim that the world ended more than 30 years ago before grunting some French cuss words and disappearing into a small, round hole in the wall. The 6,800 rabbits, more rabbits now than students, are running amok throughout campus. They have disrupted lectures and shown flagrant disrespect for faculty. They have joined academic and social organizations and are engaged in irresponsible drinking. There are even reports that these vulgar, cuddly rodents broke into the college president's office and licked viciously on President Sultan for several minutes before her administrative assistant could free her. Listeners, this is an urgent situation. These rabbits, well, all rabbits, really, are a menace, and they now have access to all the advantages of higher education. I advise you to lock your bookshelves, eat your diplomas, and place any vulnerable stones or rocks in your home on high, inaccessible shelves. If you see a rabbit, do not attempt to engage it in debate on post-structuralism, semiotics, gender politics, or sporting events. Even as I speak to you, college officials and the sheriff's secret police are desperately searching for Mrs. Wickersham, hoping to mitigate some of the damage that is being done. I hope they find her, Night Vale. I hope that the rabbits do not find us. I hope that we all find something or someone that can keep the light on a little longer against the endless, pressing dark. And in the meantime, I take you now to the weather.
People bring me this would be my life.
Of a small on the east that agents of the sheriff's secret We have received information that agents of the sheriff's secret police broke down the door to Mrs. Sylvia Wickersham's neo-Victorian home on the east side of town. Their search of the house found it completely empty and uninhabited, with the exception of a small, green tree lizard sunning itself in the front parlor. The sheriff's secret police grabbed the lizard and were on the verge of eating it, as none of them had had lunch that day. Well, I mean, some raisins and a few roasted almonds, but that's not really a full lunch.
Bring it on!
And lizards are a complete protein, but the Capital Campaign Committee stopped them. This is Mrs. Wickersham, said a committee member. This is Mrs. Wickersham? Said the secret police person. Yes, the committee member said, explaining further that Mrs. Wickersham was a high-level donor to the college. At certain levels, donors receive benefits like mugs or tote bags or names carved into bloodstones. At higher levels, donors receive very special benefits, like being able to invade the dreams of their neighbors, or having all of their belongings taken from their home, or being transformed permanently into a tree lizard. Most of our benefactors choose a Gila or skink or chunkwalla, the committee member said, quoting from the college's own fundraising brochure, as the lizard form of Mrs. Wickersham dangled and squirmed above the sheriff's secret police person's gaping purple maw. Mrs. Wickersham takes a lot of pride in her alma mater, the committee member explained, and she has donated so much to the college. None of it has ever been money, but she is a valued donor to the community, continued the committee member, as a brass band somewhere else in the world, and completely unrelated to this story, played eighth notes quickly, but softly. Why did you make a big fuss about it and call us here? Said the secret police person. Oh,
let's get
that?
Going.
Said the committee member, shrugging. It was just, good publicity for our capital campaign. The sheriff's secret police coaxed the tree lizard into a comfortable vivarium filled with fresh reptile bark, wrote evidence on the side of it in Sharpie, and removed it to an undisclosed location near the microwave in the secret police break room. In her absence, Mrs. Wickersham's next of kin was found to legally be her dry cleaner, Ben Burnham, who was amenable to the idea of retracting Mrs. Wickersham's donation. More specifically, what he said was, "Yeah, sure, whatever, what do I care? All the colleges are just factories for little socialist robots these days anyway. Beep, boop, beep, boop. Free healthcare for everybody. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. I'm a robot." Then he began to Without breaking eye contact,
Where
eat
is
the
it?
plastic hanging
Be
bags
patient,
on his
Hosea.
desk,
Come on, we're
starting
close.
from the top and working his way down. The rabbits have been removed and redonated to the Night Vale Petting Zoo. This worked out well, since until today the Night Vale Petting Zoo has only ever housed emaciated wolves. But now, thanks to Mr. Burnham's donation, on behalf of Mrs. Wickersham, of nearly 8,000 cuddly rabbits, those wolves will not be hungry again for months. Despite all interruptions, the Night Vale Community College Capital Campaign has actually surpassed its undisclosed goal, and construction of the Science Center is slated to begin this coming summer. The Capital Committee would like to extend its thanks to everyone who donated. A community that cares for education, after all, is a community that cares for its future, with all the fear and respect and awe that the future is due. Knowledge may be terrible, but we can only prefer it.
Don't cry later!
Light may be terrible, but we can only prefer it to the dark. Stay tuned next for a reality that cannot possibly match expectation. And as always, good night,
Have you learned
Night
your lesson?
Vale. Good night.
Welcome to Night Vale is a production of Commonplace Books. It is written by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner, and produced by Joseph Fink. This episode...
Hey, Jeffrey Craner here. No matter what episode you're listening to right now, I'm talking to you from the present day, and I'm here to let you know that tickets are on sale now for Night Vale's 2020 World Tour. This tour features a new, never-before-heard story featuring Cecil and your favorite Night Vale citizens that will never be told on the podcast, never was told on the podcast, and requires no previous knowledge of the podcast. So even if you are on episode 7, you will still get the live show. Plus, our live shows bring the audience into the story in some surprising and thrilling ways, making it a unique experience that you just can't get from listening to the podcast. Check out welcometonightville.com/live for the full list of cities across North America and Europe that we'll be heading to in 2020, and get your tickets today.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a cloud. It's a moon. Also, some stars. There are so many things in the sky. Welcome to Night Vale.
Do we have to fight?
Gale Blade! We did it!
New Night Vale Mayor and former intern at this very station, Dana Cardinal, announced today that she wants to open the dog park for public use. Said Dana, or I guess I should start saying Mayor Cardinal, dog parks should be used for dogs and owners to exercise and play. A dog park should be a fun gathering place for citizens to meet and socialize, not a secretive patch of municipal darkness full of conspiracy warning signs. Only moments into her announcement, the city council entered the press room, walking in synchronous steps, hips together, teeth apart, blocking the view of reporters and photographers, and unplugging the mayor's microphone. The council shuffled away to the council chambers, taking the mayor with them. 20 minutes later, Mayor Cardinal re-emerged, wearing several large ivory rings and a long cerulean cape. She announced that dogs are not allowed in the dog park. People are not allowed in the dog park. You may see hooded figures in the dog park, but not for long, as there are now plans to reinforce the fence around the dog park. Oh, listeners,
Sorry.
guess who we've got on the phone line now? I'll give you a hint. He saved Night Vale a few weeks ago by shutting out a great terror trying to invade us from another world.
It wasn't just me.
Also, he's my boyfriend and a scientist,
We killed all the
and I
monsters.
miss him.
I miss you too.
Is it gonna show?
That's right. My boyfriend is a hero. Please welcome to our show, Carlos the Scientist.
You're too much.
Listeners, Carlos had to stay behind in whatever strange desert otherworld, which was very brave of him, even though he's now very far away from people that love him. Any luck getting back through to Night Vale?
Not yet. Oh, but I've been exploring this strange rumbling noise here. It's the same rumbling noise we heard when that terrible light was coming into Night Vale.
Are you safe? Is everything okay?
Actually, there it is again. When we shut the doors, the rumbling and the unbearably bright light went away. This empty desert with the mountain and the lighthouse and the large wandering army all seemed so normal, you know? But last night, the rumbling returned. There it is again. I need to grab my instruments.
I can't hear it.
I'll call you back.
No, Carlos, every time, I never know when you'll call back. Well, speaking of the town being safe, our neighboring town, Desert Bluffs, ran a full-page ad in the Sunday extra-large
So
Imagination
finally,
edition of the Night Vale Daily Journal this week that said, I imagined, "Thank you for having us, Night Vale. Best of luck in your future." I can't tell if that's an exclamation point or a question mark there. What a weird font. It's like someone put paint or some other thick liquid on the tip of a sharp finger and then hand wrote this ad. It's just like that. Then at the bottom, it has a photo of your face, dear listener, and the same finger-painted lettering that reads, "Blessings from a smiling God."
I bet you good luck.
Wow. Where did they get that photo of you? Although, honestly, it's not a bad photo. I mean,
That was a hassle.
you look just adorable
I wish I could
when
have.
you're
Awesome.
sleeping. I know this
Now let's
farewell
report to the
ad
quest
may
shop to
seem
clear
like a
this.
kind gesture, but good riddance to those monsters. No one is happier than me to see us run Desert Bluffs out of town. Meanwhile, there has been a lot of construction noise. Bike horns, seesaws, parrot shrieking, etc. from the old StrexCorp headquarters at the lip of Radon Canyon. Several tall beings with wings, who all introduced themselves as Erica, were seen hanging around outside, while a sheriff's secret police representative ran frantically between onlookers, putting her hand over each person's eyes and shouting, "You're not seeing anything real." Well, I, for one, am excited to learn what these, of course, completely non-existent angels plan to do with the huge, malevolent corporation they purchased. Oh, also, I stopped by the office of station management. Seems like our community radio station, StrexCorp, by our original owners, whom I have never met or seen,
Was that supposed to
and
be a
who
guy or a
until
girl?
recently had run this radio station for centuries. It's nice to have all these familiar faces back. Or not faces,
So we can't
more
ride a
like
bike?
muffled
This
screams
quest could be pretty
and
difficult.
shattering echoes and pulsing orange lights surrounding dark stone doors that are never in the same place you remember them being. Just a quick stroll past the new old boss's office brought me back to the good old days as I crumbled to the floor, struck numb and blind with flashes of hideous daydreams, a history's worth of deaths that were not my own. How great to be back to the way we were. Oh, the good old days. The fearful, terrible, deadly, good old days.
Okay then. Where's
my
that hill?
phone's buzzing.
I'm actually pretty good
Carlos?
at looking for things.
Hello?
Please,
I
leave.
wonder where
Carlos,
the
are you
snowstone
back on
is.
the line?
Yes. So, there's a lighthouse here in the desert. It's on top of a tall mountain. And there's a blinking red light on the top of this lighthouse.
Let's
and
get
this
going!
blinking red light always blinks, okay? That's what it does. But now that the rumbling has returned, can you hear the rumbling from your end, Cecil?
No.
It's very loud. But when the rumbling happens, the blinking red light stops blinking.
Well, that's
it
that,
just
I guess.
stays on.
What do you think that means?
I don't know. I've talked with some of the army of men and women and others who roam about this desert, and they look frightened. They have never seen the blinking light stop blinking. It is what a blinking light is supposed to do. And here is what happens when a thing that has always behaved one way does not behave that way at all. They run and hide now when they hear the rumbling and see the static red light up on the mountain. I too am starting to feel scared.
Carlos, remember how you got into that desert in the first place? You went through a door in a house that did not seem to exist. Have you found any of those doors yet?
Not yet, no.
Carlos, look for those doors. There must be at least one left somewhere.
I'll start looking very soon, okay? But listen, Cecil, I'd really like to figure out this rumbling/red light thing. I'm a scientist. I need to discover/understand things. It's what I do.
But couldn't you look for the door while you figure it out?
I'll look for the door some tomorrow.
That
For
was
sure,
nothing.
I will.
Well, that's not what I was...
The rumbling's
going to-
gone. Did you hear that? I've got to run. I need to find Doug.
Who's Doug? Wait, Carlos, who's Doug? Carlos? Okay. Well, I guess let's just have a look at today's horoscopes. Leo. Need a penny? Take a penny. Have a penny? Take another penny. Pennies are worthless, but go ahead and take
That
them
was
all.
nothing.
Build a great fortune only to have its great copper weight crush your lifeless pauper body. Virgo. Don't shoot the messenger,
This'll be
Virgo.
quick.
It's noisy and will alert others of your crime. Lure the messenger inside. Make sure no one saw him come in. Choose something quieter than a gun. Perhaps
Well, that's that, I guess.
suffocation or an accidental fall. Really plan these things out. Stop being so trigger happy, Virgo. Libra. Do you believe in ghosts? You don't? Well, won't you be surprised when you wake up in the middle of the night tonight?
This'll be quick.
Scream loud enough so the neighbors can hear you. Scorpio. You are respected by your peers. You are a great thinker and leader. Wait, what is this? This is definitely not the right reading for a Scorpio. It must be a typo. I bet the stars
Here
meant
goes.
to say, you should hear what they're saying about you. Very funny things, Scorpio. They're saying very funny things at your expense, you jerk. Yep, that's definitely what the stars meant to say. Sagittarius.
We won.
The best revenge is living well. The second best is tasteless, slow-acting poison. Maybe it's more of a tie. Either way, you got wronged, and you need to set things right, Sagittarius. Capricorn. 'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all, which is better than to have never loved at all, but
This'll be
also
quick.
somehow lost a love, thus creating a paradox. Paradoxes are bad, Capricorn. Be careful, or logic will destroy you.
Let's keep it up.
Aquarius. Your boyfriend is trapped in an alternate desert dimension. It is difficult to say when he will return. Perhaps take up drinking while crying in a quiet room. That's a very specific and
Have you learned your
painful
lesson?
horoscope. Thanks for nothing, stars. Pisces. A train leaves a station traveling west at 40 miles per hour. Another train leaves a station traveling east at 60 miles per hour. These two trains left on different days, in different years, in different countries. How long until the passengers acknowledge their own
I'm good at looking for
impermanence?
things.
You did it.
Aries. I
Yeah,
think
we need to
they
make sure we
saw
get
you,
back without meeting
Aries.
any monsters. We can't ride on the
Hold
bike
still.
either.
They cannot see you if you do not move. Shh. Don't move. Don't move. Don't. Nope, they saw you. So long, Aries. Taurus. Someone misses you a lot, Taurus. And even though you have nothing but endless time, trapped out in a nightmarish desert hellscape, you have a hard time making a phone call longer than 10 minutes. Maybe call a bit more than you do, Taurus. Yep, that's just some astrological advice from the stars. Gemini. You know those 8 spiders a year you eat in your sleep? Well, they add up. They are all organizing a pretty dramatic escape. Very soon, Gemini. Very soon. Cancer. The ocean is vast, you convince yourself, walking alone between the trees. The sky is endless. You mutter repeatedly, trying to finally lull yourself to sleep. Matter can neither be created nor destroyed, you contemplate, despite not understanding the first part of the statement. What's on the Food Network tonight? You say aloud to a stranger you have known for years. This has been today's horoscopes. Ah, he's calling in again. Carlos?
Cecil, the rumbling has started again. The mountain is moving up and down like breathing. There are creaks and groans in the earth, in the stones, that together sound like a growl, an undulating snarl of something much bigger than anything that should ever be able to snarl. Cecil, this is a strange place, and considering where I've lived for the past couple of years, that says a lot. I know Dana used to be trapped here, and she has told you about it. I mean, I used to wonder how she could call and text you from this place for an entire year with no cell towers or power outlets.
Yo.
But I've been here for weeks, and I have 3 bars, only 4G, but still, and 97% battery, which was the charge I had when I came through the door in the house that doesn't exist. In a temporary peace between the rumblings, I walked with some of the desert army toward a small patch of discolored sand. We found a swath of damp dirt, just a handful of red mud, and in that mud were several tiny white bones. Looked like long legs and short wings of a creature
Hunters,
I can't
huh?
even
I
imagine.
get kind of nervous when I
I
hear
look
the word
forward to
trial.
figuring out exactly what this is. I'll be able to imagine it then.
Carlos, I don't think it's safe there. Listen, I want
Strong,
you to
smart,
find a way
and have good luck.
Nothing and nowhere is safe. But there are things greater than us. Greater than all of this. So you can't see it, but I just made a big sweeping hand gesture to indicate everything in the universe. And there are people who must learn about it all. How it all works and why. This is what we call science.
Yes, I know what science is.
And I am a scientist.
Okay, I understand. It's just that I miss you. And... Oh my. The building is shaking.
You can feel it? You can feel the rumbling? Oh, this is exciting. Wait, this is new. The ground
All right,
is
then.
moving very
Where are the
quickly.
altars?
There is a
Let's be
large
careful.
lug churning the sand up and
Altar
down.
monsters?
I'm leaning out
I
over
hope
this
they're not too
ledge to
strong.
get a better view of this fantastic event and... Ow!
Carlos, what happened?
I got hit. What is that? Is that a rock? Ow!
Carlos.
Cecil, the rocks are coming down. They're coming down the side of this
Let's
hill.
get
I need
going.
to take cover. I need to find a...
Carlos. Carlos? Listeners, while the earth still shakes, take shelter. This does not feel like one of our government-scheduled earthquakes, but if I were you, I would still do as the earthquake safety mascot, Duncan the brown recluse spider, always says, I'm small, and I hide a lot, so it's easy to be safe. And with that, I take you now to the weather.
You won. Call me up.
Carlos, are you there? Carlos,
I'm here.
are you okay?
I'm fine. A scientist is always fine. Doug was really helpful.
Who is Doug?
He's one of the members of this great masked army. He must be a captain of some sort, given his size and the respect he appears to garner. As the rocks and boulders came down, Doug picked up a large, flat stone and held it above us. The rocks bounced off his makeshift shield. Unfortunately, I dropped my phone. I smashed the phone something good. I thought I lost you for a while there, Cecil. I was despairing that my one way to reach you would be lost for who knows how long. But then, you know what? Something really amazing happened. Something tremendous. The phone healed itself.
Oh, that's great.
One
It
altar
is
down,
great,
two more to go.
But phones don't just heal themselves.
Where's the next
This is
altar?
another scientific mystery I can't wait to get to the bottom of.
Where is Doug now?
Oh, I don't know. He's probably back at the encampment. They're a nomadic army. Sometimes they are here, sometimes not. I don't really have time to make new friends. They're nice people, but there is a lot of work for me to do here. And the only person I truly care about isn't in this desert anyway. I do not know what the rumbling is. I do not know why some doors work and others do not. I do not know why my phone never loses battery power and can heal itself. I do not know how long it will take me to pursue this knowledge. But I do know two things.
What is that?
I love you.
I love you too. What's the other thing?
You just said it. Cecil, I have to go. Be patient with me. We have our phones, we have our voices, and
That was nothing.
you have the best voice of them all.
Thanks for being on the air with me. We did almost the entire show together.
Don't
We
cry
can
later!
still do things together, even in absence. I'll be back again soon.
Find that door, Carlos.
I will, but first I need to see if the red light is blinking again or not.
Okay. Bye, Carlos. Listeners, I wish I could tell you where the rumbling came from, and that we are safe from it. The sheriff's secret seismology team announced that today's rumbling, which caused quite a bit of structural damage and knocked out power for 1/3 of the town, did not register at all on the Richter scale, which is a thing seismologists use to assign two-dimensional numbers to complex multi-dimensional physical events. But the upshot is we are all alive for however many two-dimensional numbers we have left. Stay tuned next for the sound of future becoming the present, becoming the past, in no time at all. And as always, good night, Night Vale. Good night.
Not good.
Welcome to Night Vale is a production of Commonplace Books. It is written by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner and produced by Joseph Fink. The voice of Night Vale is Cecil Baldwin. The voice of Carlos is Dylan Merritt. Original music by Disparition. All of it can be found at disparition.info or at disparition.bandcamp.com. This episode's weather was Echo in the Hills by Carrie Elkin and Danny Schmidt. Find out more at carrieelkin.com or at dannyschmidt.com. Comment?
Hey, Jeffrey Craner here. No matter what episode you're listening to right now, I'm talking to you from the present day, and I'm here to let you know that tickets are on sale now for Night Vale's 2020 World Tour. This tour features a new, never-before-heard story featuring Cecil and your favorite Night Vale citizens that will never be told on the podcast, never was told on the podcast, and requires no previous knowledge of the podcast. So even if you are on episode 7, you will still get the live show. Plus, our live shows bring the audience into the story in some surprising and thrilling ways, making this a unique experience that you just can't get from listening to the podcast at
now
home.
we're cooking.
Check out welcometonightville.com/live for the full list of cities across North America and Europe that we'll be heading to in 2020, and get your tickets today.
Now is your chance. Well, that was it. It's over. Did you do it? Have you achieved what you wanted? No. Ah, well. Welcome to Night Vale. Former Mayor Pamela Winchell called an emergency press conference today to announce that she is enjoying her retirement immensely, and she could not be happier to no longer be mayor. More happiness is not possible, she wailed. Happiness is a fool's daydream. She was then reminded by reporters that she is no longer mayor, and so she will be calling emergency press conferences, especially when there is none of the usual emergencies happening, like seeing an interesting butterfly, eating a very good sandwich, or being disappointed that it is 2 o'clock already. I sought a statement from current mayor Dana Cardinal, who is, of course, a former intern and dear friend of mine. I found her at the end of a dark hallway, draped with rotting black cloth and thick with cobwebs, where she was sitting on the mayoral throne and contemplating her hands. I thought it would be different than this, she said, but it's exactly what it is. I asked her specifically her thoughts on former Mayor Pamela Winchell continuing to call emergency press conferences. Oh, Mayor Dana said, and then again, oh, and then, she can do that if she wants. I'm too busy these days to do press conferences anyway. Tell you what. And then she did tell me what, which is that she is naming Pamela Winchell the official Night Vale Director of Emergency Press Conferences. When informed of this news, Pamela made a swiping, dismissive gesture with her hands, saying, I don't need her permission. I'll call them if I want. Anyway, I'm retired. She was crying. She smiled, and she cried. I'm retired, she continued, but that's very, very nice of her. What a wonderful woman. I'm going to call an emergency press conference to let people know what a wonderful woman the new mayor is, she concluded. And now a word from our sponsors. Today's sponsor is the concept of itching. Listeners, are you looking for an action that will pass the time, but also is mildly irritating? Searching for a way to have your body express reaction to material it is allergic to? Want to express confusion in the most stereotypical manner possible? I am just
Have a good night, everybody.
thrilled
I'm
to
starting
be
to feel
here
that
on behalf
whatever that was
of
that knocked
itching.
me unconscious.
Itching has been with
Earlier.
humans as long
So,
as there has been humans.
see if
Longer
this
than
time so I
that
don't
even.
have to replay.
Why, beings have been having to scratch themselves almost as long as they've been being. It can be
Have a good day.
fun.